Hey guys, it's Lauren with Divided by Sight, and I hope to bring to the gap between the sighted and the blind visually impaired community. If you guys are new, drop a comment down below, let me know, and if you're returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be doing the blind VIP offer tube tag, and this is a tag that I created to help build a community of authors on OfferTube that are blind and visually impaired. Okay.
Question time! First question, what projects are you working on?
Good Lord, that's a loaded question. So,
time to have to scroll.
Where is the scroll? It's like 10 feet long when you open it. So, I am finishing up the edits and formatting of my first poetry book, Ignited Melodies, a book of poetry, and my second poetry book will be a collection of character poems called The Queen of Enchantments.
Oh.
So the stories and novels that I'm working on is first book in a trilogy called Hunted, the Immortal Kiss that I co-wrote with Nicole.
Yay!
And the other one is a collection of short stories in another series called Demonic Angel.
Starting to see the theme.
What, all the things are written together?
And that's your series? Or trilogies?
I need a partner in crime.
Sure. Anything else?
That's it for now. So, I didn't know that I only mentioned the stories that we're actively writing on now, but Nicole has a Word document with all of the stories and like a little baby synopsis, so we can go back to it and work on it. So when one gets done, we can jump into the next one. And that Word document probably has like 10 plus ideas on it.
More like 20.
Oh God! It is a scroll!
Do you have anything published?
Yes. I have some poems featured in 2 different anthologies by Dream Punk Press. So the first one is called Faye the Well, and the second one is called Rogues and Rebels. And then I also have a poem featured in the Publishing Best Emerging Poets of Maryland for 2019.
Question. How has your experiences shaped your writing voice?
Ooh, what a good question. It's hard to answer because up until this year, it's not that I haven't wanted to write a character that was blind or visually impaired. It was just being scared of being vulnerable and putting myself out there in that way of using my own experiences for the character experiences. But I think subconsciously, like, I've always had that defiant character that will try to either think outside the box or will be stubborn and say, like, I'm tenacious, I can do this thing, even if you tell me that I can't do it, I'm going to prove you wrong and do it anyway. And that's definitely something that I've developed over the years because I am stubborn and I like proving people wrong.
Next question. What is your process in writing about past experiences?
Ooh. Like I said, up until this year, I haven't written a character that was blind. So that will be an interesting experience to go back down memory lane and try to put myself in the character's shoes of like, okay, this is how I started to feel when I was losing my vision, what difficulties did I have, but how can I shine this in a positive light? Because you want to have empathy for the character, but at the same time, if the character's personality well with me and I want you to feel sorry for me because I'm blind, then as a blind reader, you're going to get mad and think that that's not realistic and throw the book across the room.
Question. What offers inspire you?
So, the first part of my answer is just going to be authors that got me excited into reading, because I never liked reading as a kid. And
That's an understatement.
okay, this video isn't about making fun of me. Thanks, Loki.
That was be nice. The first 4 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just saying that everyone thought it was odd that I was a bookworm and you weren't. That's all.
Because we're not one person.
We are one person to a lot of people. Anyway.
I really enjoyed the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I liked that it was a new twist on Greek mythology, but I think the thing that made me respect him as an author was that he started writing the series so it was something he could read to his kid at night, because his kid was suffering from ADHD. And a lot of people have picked up on the fact that Percy, the main protagonist in the series, has similar symptoms of someone that has ADHD. And another author that I admire is Melissa Marr. She writes the Beautifully Broken series about the unsealing Sealy Court. And I learned recently that not that she has dyslexia, but she knew people that did, and so that's why her story, her character is driven. So that way, if you're having a hard time focusing on the story itself, you can still have something that you can enjoy. And I did research because I wanted to feature authors that were blind or visually impaired. And
There's not many.
no, there's not many, and it made me really sad. Hopefully there's more outside this list that you guys can recommend in the comments. Because when I did research, I found a lot of artists and musicians, composers, which is awesome, but that's not what I was looking for. So the first one is Joseph Pulitzer, and he created the Pulitzer Prize, which is awarded every year for someone that is distinctive and stands out in the arts. The next one is Louis Braille, who is credited for creating the Braille language and system of the six dot system of Braille. And then the last one is the one that I actually knew of. Like, I knew of Louis Braille. I knew that he created Braille, but I didn't know, like, there are some people in the community that are on the fence if it's considered a language, because Braille is used in math and music as well as literature. But the last one is Helen Keller, and I don't think I've read the biography and memoir on her life, but I'm definitely intrigued to read it.
You saw the movie.
I did see the movie, but, you know, movies and books are never the same.
You forgot one.
What's that?
Homer.
Oh, so I found 4.
Writer of the Iliad and Odyssey.
Yeah, and that one surprised me because I didn't see that one coming. I had no idea he was blind.
Yep, you never read that when you take mythology. Or you're just a mythology teacher like me. Question. Which author-tubers would you like to collab with?
Well, I mean, I'm always open to working with anybody, but I feel like that's such a blank statement.
That's a cop-out answer.
Yeah, I know. I said that before we started filming. Like, I have an answer, but it's not an answer. Catalina Storm is a member of the deaf and hard of hearing community, and I was fortunate enough to work with her, Dana Gollin, and Cache Warren in the disability panel. And I would love to work again with Catalina because she just drops lots of knowledge. Like, I didn't even realize that there were multiple forms of the American Sign Language. Like, I knew there were different forms of it in other countries, and that, like, you know, each country has their own dialect and way of speaking. So, of course, there would be a different form of sign language for that. But I didn't realize there was different ones for the
Different
US.
states?
No, like, different type of culture within the U.S., like Southern,
Right.
African, things like that. And I think that surprised me, because I'm most familiar with the ASL one, which is American Sign Language, and then the British one.
Right, the BSL.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I would like to do a collab with Charlotte Armstrong
Charlotte!
and Emily. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna try and say her last
Just
name.
say Emily. Sorry.
Charlie Dossett. It seems like she does a live stream every day.
You know what's funny?
Yes.
Is when you're trying to say Emily's last name, you want to know what popped in my head?
What?
Corpse Bride.
She should do her makeup like Emily does in Corpse Bride. Oh man, I'm gonna Instagram her a picture and say that should be like, she should cosplay her for Halloween. That'd be dope. And that's not what I'm thinking of, I think.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, I have like 100 more names, but I'm not gonna list them all.
Next question. What accessible devices do you use with your writing?
So, a lot of time I'll either do writing on my phone or my laptop, and I use a high contrast with the black background and the white font.
Inverted is a term.
Inverted is a term, but I'll be explaining it for people who don't know what it is.
Okay.
Duh.
Do not talk like Valley Girl, for the love of God.
No, I'll just make you watch me, girl.
No!
But when the text is inverted with the high contrast, it takes a lesser strain on my eyes, so I can write for longer and then actually read what I wrote. I also use the magnifier or zoom on the iPhone accessibility feature and settings. And then I've also just started using the text-to-speech option on my phone. And sometimes I'll use it when I'm tired and I don't feel like reading it, but I know I have to read what I wrote, because then I'll either like repeat myself or write the wrong thing. So with my laptop, like I said, I use the magnifier to magnify the entire screen, and I also have inverted high contrast stickers on my keyboard. They're large print and they're black on white.
Next question. What advice would you give to another author or writer that's wanting to include a blind character in their story? Rant time!
I don't have a rant planned. All I'm gonna say is do lots of research. Ask different people that are blind and visually impaired on their thoughts. And also hire a sensitivity reader that is blind or visually impaired to look over what you wrote and make sure it's authentic and true.
And please do not have the ending that magic heals everything. This question is, what are your thoughts of blind characters in literature?
I think Nicole knew this question was coming. No, technically I could have done a rant in the last answer, but I decided not to. I'm saving it for this one.
Oh my.
So, I'm gonna go off of what Nicole said, that for some reason, mostly in fantasy, people have said this, and I've seen it, is that magic is the cure, and at the end of the story, it's like they have 20/20 vision. I was never blind or visually impaired, and all my problems in life are solved. And life is better because I'm not blind anymore.
I understand some vision returning, but to have perfect vision seems far-stretched.
Yeah. But the whole stereotype of that the character is blind or visually impaired, is incompetent, and can't do anything, that's just feeding off of negative stereotypes.
I've never seen a low vision. It's always total blindness.
Yeah. But again, still, I, as your caretaker, must do everything for you. Because if you try to do this one simple task, you'll hurt yourself.
And you live in total darkness because you can't see light.
I mean, that is true. Some people are completely blind and they see nothing. And then there's people that are blind that have some perception of light and shadow.
Sorry, I thought of Ray Charles and Daredevil, and both of them, characters always in darkness, and it's like, that's not usually the case.
I live in the darkness.
I'm Batman. So this question's kind of amusing because together we can only come up with comic book characters.
Yay, comic book!
What is your favorite blind characters in literature?
Well, the comic books are still literature.
I didn't say they weren't. I'm just amused that we couldn't think of other brands of literature. It was only comics.
Yeah, like fiction. Because I'm sure there are some, like, memoir or nonfiction stories of blind, visually impaired characters.
Well, you mentioned Helen Keller.
That's true. But, again, not even Helen Keller. First answer was Daredevil, Stick, which is his mentor, and Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
So, what are your favorite?
Well, I mean, they acknowledge that society sees them as someone that has to depend on others to survive, but at the same time, they're able to find their own strength and, I don't want to say, like, combat against society, but, like, challenge the norms that society has for them.
Right.
And I like that because it shows that just because I can't see as well as you doesn't mean that I'm less than. Because again, that is the main stereotype you think of someone that's blind or any disability. It's like, oh, that poor soul, they're going to be crippled the rest of their life. I must help them.
Yeah. I think Toph is my favorite because of the fact that she makes fun of her own disability.
I know. She's just snarky.
I wonder what that reminds you of.
So, like I said in the beginning, this video is inspired to help reach out to any other blind or visually impaired authors, because aside from Nicole and myself, there aren't any that I know on YouTube. And if I'm wrong and there are, I would love to connect with you and work with you and help you build your community. Because I've learned that with a community on your side, you definitely have accountability to write more, but you also feel support in a way that you don't really get from people in your life that aren't writers.
And just think, if we help support more blind or low vision writers, we'd have more authors in the world.
Right, and more representation of those with our type of disability in literature. I mean, think of how much we struggle trying to come up with examples. So, I hope you guys liked the video. It's open for any author that is blind or visually impaired to complete the tag. Hint at Nicole. And until the next video, have a nice day. Bye!